haven't seen you smile so much at a press conference.
Good ambience, man. We're having a good time. I mean, it doesn't change anything from the fact that we're going to both try to knock each other's head off. It's fun. It's something different, you know. It's not. You know, it doesn't always have to be hate. You know, we can come together, have good conversation, and still be hyped up about it. So I'm very excited. I'm very happy.
Tell me about the two face-offs.
I looked into his soul, man.
What did you see?
I seen that he was scared, to be honest with you. You know, but at the end of the day, he's probably going to say the same thing about me. So I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know exactly how I'm preparing. So, you know me, man. I'm the Mexican monster.
What has made him that avoidable fighter?
It's because he's a very technical fighter. He's a very good fighter. He's a champion in 2 different weight classes. So, I mean, I feel like a lot of people didn't take a fight with him because they know his problems. But for me, I want to be the best. Not only do I want to prove to the people, I want to prove to myself that I'm the best.
Why is he a threat to your campaign? You're obviously you have goals for.
Yeah, because he's a top fighter. You know, it's always when you get fighters like this, it's always 50-50. He's a top fighter. I have nothing but respect for him. He's a great fighter, very technical. He has power, and so you know, he's a threat to anybody.
David, ¿cómo calificas a Andrade? Porque es un que nadie se lo quiso enfrentar a 54-60 y tú levantas la mano.
Pues yo creo que es un peleador muy bueno, bien técnico, pero yo creo que ahorita en el nivel que yo estoy muy fuerte, muy rápido y más joven que él. So yo creo que yo lo voy a lastimar en esta pelea.
Dice tu papá que lo ve que lo pasa a meter como unos 7 o 8 saltos.
Yo creo que sí, yo creo que eso es lo que va a pasar, pero todavía no podemos estar más confiados de más. Tenemos que entrenar duro y yo creo que sí va a ser una pelea muy buena.
David, buscar un tipo de show grande, algo que no se ve en la pelea de Canelo contra Carlos.
Sí, pues yo creo que esta es la pelea más grande de la división y estoy listo para pelear.
Lo mencionas tú, lo menciona él, que el ganador de esta pelea es el mejor supermediano.
Yo creo que sí,
David, when you talk about when you looked him in the eyes and you thought he was scared, do you also see that from his demeanor just in general on stage? He's joking around a lot, and then when we look at you, you look like you got this look in your eyes that you want to kill someone.
I think that's just how he is, to be honest with you. Well, maybe, I don't know, bro. I'm ready to do what the fuck I do, you know what I mean? I'm excited, and I've been training extremely hard. This is just how I am, you know. I'm a cool person outside the ring, but in the ring, I'm a killer.
How do you think you deal with him at long range, you know, at distance? Because it seems like that's what he's going to try to do.
That's for me to find out. You know, that's for me. I can't give out my secret plays. He's a good fighter. You know, there's a lot of things that he does good. But the thing about it is that you don't wait for one particular fighter. You have to learn how to fight the inside game and the outside game, and that's what we've been doing our career.
Did the planned fight help you with that, with fighting on the outside?
Yeah, planned. I mean, I've always had a lot of sparring partners that are boxers and move around a lot. So it just really depends, you know. I mean, it's not like I'm new to this. I've seen this style over and over again, so I know it's good.
Your brother Jose, he's set to fight Jermall Charlo on the undercard. Talk about the significance of having a brother twin billing.
It's really good, man. We're really motivated, especially when we train. I knew a big moment like this was going to come from soon, so I'm just happy to see him back in there. I'm happy to be a part of his training camp, and it's going to be a big victory for him. And I know it's going to be one of the biggest upsets of the year because my brother's going to go in there. There's going to be trouble.
Do you see Jermall as a possible next opponent for you too?
I don't know, not after my brother beats him.
What do you make of Charlo now wanting to make that fight at the catch weight instead of 160?
I don't know, they do what they do, bro. I'm worried about what I do.
How did you think, Jermell, what did you think of that fight, man, your assessment?
I mean, I can't really criticize him too much. He's coming up in 2 weight classes. You know what I mean? He's 154 fighting a 168 pounder. He looked like he was trying to survive. I mean, I don't know what's going on in his camp. But I mean, he made it to the 12th round. I think with Canelo's performance, Canelo did what he did. He went, he pressed the action, and you know, ultimately won the fight.
Is there going to be referring to Jermall wanted to fight at 163 instead of 160 for?
Oh shit. Okay.
What do you make of just?
It's, I mean, the only way I'm seeing why the weight would be an issue because he hasn't fought in 2.5 years. So in that case, I understand him. But I mean, we've known about this fight for like about 2.5, 3 months. You know, maybe he was not preparing well, but I don't know. We'll keep it. We'll let him answer those questions.
¿Qué te pareció la actuación de Canelo contra Charlo?
Pues yo creo que pues era una pelea buena, ¿no? Y no quiero criticar el Canelo. Él hizo lo que siempre hizo. Se fue, se fajó y ganó la pelea.
¿Por qué decidiste tomar esta pelea con Andrade? Que has dicho que es la más importante.
No, porque yo quiero ser mi propio hombre. Yo quiero ser el peleador mejor de esta división. Yo creo que para hacer eso tengo que ganarle a todos los mejores en la división. El Andrade es un peleador muy bueno, rankeado como 4 del WBC. esto es lo que quiero hacer.
David, in that Canelo-Charlo fight, Canelo only threw 32 punches around. So, you know, he didn't get tired, but do you feel like that was masked a little bit by the really slow pace? And, you know, you throw twice as many punches as that when you get going. Is that going to be a big factor for you beating Canelo if and when that fight happens?
Yeah, I think the key for me is to throw a lot of combinations, you know what I mean, and just to stand my ground. I think that's the difference between me and Canelo. I mean, me and everybody else that Canelo fights. Canelo has their way with them. They're smaller guys, you know, but I'm a big guy. I'm a young guy. I throw a lot of combinations, so you know, I'm very comfortable, and I want it. I'm hungry for this fight.
Do you? Again, I know it's Andrade first, but with Canelo, do you have to establish the jab? I know Plant moved around a lot, but do you feel like you'll be able to get the jab going against Canelo, unlike Plant, because he comes forward? And do you have to, so he doesn't get to the body?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the jab is the key weapon in any fight. Jab. If you're a real pure boxing person, you know that the jab opens the doors to everything. But you know, it's different. The styles are different. You have a person coming in front of you; they're way easier to fight, as opposed to a person that moves around a lot. So I mean, it'll be a different fight. The styles are way different, so it'll be a completely different fight.
Will there be some similarities in this fight to Canelo-Charlo in that, you know, I know Andrade, he's not jumping straight up, but he's still a guy coming from 54 originally. You know, will you just be too strong for him, like Canelo was too strong for Charlo?
I don't know. We'll see. That's why we're training extremely hard. You can't think like that as a top fighter, because then that takes away from your training. I feel like with me, what I've always done is I've trained like every single fight was the hardest fight of my life, and I've given it all in the ring. So that's why I look the way I look. So I'm preparing for the best Demetrius Andrade possible.
What do you think of your dad's 8th round knockout prediction? It sounds
I gotta make my dad happy, no? So we're gonna try to follow that. But like I said, I'm not gonna put pressure on myself. I'm not thinking about a knockout, but that's, you know, the way I fight. I go out there and inflict as much damage as possible. So I'm always going to fight the same. I'm always going to look for the knockout.
¿Puedes describir tu campamento hasta el momento y qué planes tienes en las siguientes semanas?
Pues este campamento ya tengo como 5 semanas entrenando. Ya cuando se acaba el campamento vamos a tener 3 meses en entrenamiento. Pero estamos haciendo lo mismo. Tengo mi entrenador físico, Memo Herrera. Estoy haciendo sparring. Ya llegué a los 11 rounds. 3 sparring partners diferentes. Estamos trabajando durísimo para esta pelea. Ya sé que es una pelea bien difícil. Tenemos que preparar bien.
¿Te ves más fuerte que antes? ¿Te ves más ancho que antes? ¿Crees que eso te beneficia para este combate?
Sí, pues como te dije, estoy trabajando duro. Es un peleador muy difícil. Solo tengo que mantener entrenando duro.
Una más. ¿Qué opinas de esa idea de Canelo contra Terence Crawford?
Pues la verdad, yo creo que la gente no quiere mirar eso. Terence Crawford está peleando en 147. Se va a subir 3 weight classes up. La gente ahorita quiere mirar unas peleas parejas contra mí y Canelo, porque yo soy peleador más grande, no soy chiquito como los otros peleadores. Yo creo que esta es la pelea que todo el mundo quiere mirar.
David, speaking of weight, man, how has the weight been in between the Plant fight and now?
Good, bro. It's always the same. I mean, I don't know, like, it's good. I lose the weight.
There was like a clip, you had the afro grown out, and you
give a fuck about
kind of big.
Bro, how do I look now? Do I look kind of big?
No.
Andrade is a tricky fighter. Who would you consider the trickiest fighter you've ever faced?
Probably Caleb Plant. I mean, and then probably the next one be Andrade. I mean, this guy is a really good fighter. These guys are really quality fighters, and they have a lot of tricks in their bags, especially him being from the Olympics or being in the Olympics too. These guys are really talented. They have a lot of experience. So, but I've been thousands of sparrings. I've seen every single style of sparring, so I know how to defend well from tricks.
Your thoughts on his resume? There's a lot of criticism about his resume.
You're also a family man outside. You just proposed to, to your fiance. You have another kid on the way. Just talk about that perspective, being as a family man.
I feel really level-headed, man, because at the end of the day, I could beat people up and then I could go home and be a family man. So, you know what I mean? I'm just very excited. I really want to build an empire. You know, my son, I see see him doing the exact same things I was doing at his age, that in boxing. So I really want to set a good example for my people, for my family. My brother, he's about to get a big fight. My little brother Angel, he's starting to box too. And then I just want it to be a whole empire, a whole family.
Your little one, obviously, we've seen the power, we've seen the speed, we've seen the clips, man. How cool is that, just having him, being in the ring?
It's dope, bro. It's really motivating to me. It gives me the motivation I need to keep going in there and working as hard as I can, because I want to give my son everything, and I want to put him in the best positions possible for him to be successful as a man.
Watching this video, thoughts on his resume, man? There's been criticism. You mentioned he's an Olympian. That's overlooked. Give me your thoughts on his resume.
I mean, he's a double world champion. He's been a world champion at 154 and 160. That's something that a lot of people don't do. So you cannot take no credit away from him. This guy is really good. That's why I'm preparing the way I'm preparing, because I'd rather be over prepared than under prepared. So.
¿Nos enseñas tu playera, David? ¿Qué significa? ¿Algún significado especial?
Oh, nomás mi cara y mi nombre ahí.
What do you feel like Andrade is better at than Plant? Maybe vice versa too.
To be honest, bro, I don't know. They throw a lot of combinations. They throw punches and bunches. They move around a lot. So I don't know. I'm expecting a well-conditioned, well-boxed fighter.
Do you think he sits down, maybe has more pop than
I'm sure he does. I mean, I don't know. I can't really say because I haven't been until I fight him. I mean, they both had good amount of knockouts, so I can't really say until I get into it.
I know you touched on the knockout earlier, but in the back of your mind, are you like, I gotta stop him, or I won't get the Canelo fight?
Oh, so I do want to stop him because I was upset that I didn't stop Plant, and that's really been bugging me. I watched the highlights and I'm like, man, I can fucking stop this guy. So I do want to get the knockout, but I'm saying I don't want to put pressure on myself. Sometimes when you put too much pressure on yourself, saying I want to get a knockout, it's too much pressure.
Did that happen in the Plant fight a little bit?
Maybe. I could have got it though. That's what fucking pisses me off. That's what I'm saying. So I mean, I don't know. We're just we've been working on a lot of stuff, a lot of new things.
Thanks, Dave.
And then Jaime Munguia, you said that's in the plans for 2024. Why didn't that fight work out originally?
They didn't want to fight. It's as simple as that. We're negotiating for a couple months, and they didn't want to fight. It would have been a massive fight. It would have been a big fight, but they just didn't want to fight.
Do you think there's a foundation there to pick it up for next year?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, maybe we'll see. I mean, he's a great fighter. I think he just probably wanted to get a little bit more comfortable at 168 because he barely has one fight there. So I mean, everything's possible, bro. So we'll see.
And the rest of the undercard, can you preview who'll be on the pay-per-view undercard?
I don't know if I can say, to be honest with you. My brother's gonna fight Charlo on there, so it's gonna be a great fight. And I don't know the other ones, but they're not confirmed, but they're massive fights.
Jose Valenzuela, could we expect to see him?
I don't know when he's gonna fight.
Gotcha.
David, Canelo